The death of the English King Edward IV in April 1483 was completely unexpected. Indirectly, it may have been his sheltered life as a child that caused him to part from this world so early. Contemporaries complained that the monarch was still young in years and without any known maladies. His doctors were never able to identify the cause without doubt. The best guess was that the excessive use of emetics was costing the Yorkist king his life. The consequences of the early death can hardly be overestimated. It ultimately led to the Tudors being able to conquer the crown of England. Historian Marylynn Salmon believes she has found the actual cause of death. She dedicates an entire chapter to Edward in her book Medieval Syphilis and Treponemial Disease, published in 2022, and states here that the 40-year-old probably died of syphilis. Salmon disagrees. Treponematosis, the underlying disease of syphilis, has existed in Europe and Asia since ancient times. This suggests that syphilis was already widespread, but simply unknown. Normal Europeans were exposed to mild forms of treponematosis as children, the historian explains. They would have played together and shared cups. This protected them from the much more dangerous syphilis later in life as they built up antibodies. Edward, however, was sheltered and therefore not exposed to other children in the same way. As a result, the appropriate protection was lacking. Since syphilis is a disease that develops hardly recognizable over months and whose late symptoms resemble leprosy, the doctors were at a loss. Salmon refers to an excerpt from the Croyland Chronicle which emphasizes that Edward's illness was known, but the excerpt doesn't mention it by name. It is widely known that syphilis is an STI. In fact, Edward was correspondingly active in this regard in the late phase of his life, and by no means only with his wife Elizabeth Woodville. This suggests that Salmon may be right. It should be remembered, however, that it is extremely difficult to diagnose individuals centuries later. But Salmon also has an answer to this. Edward was by no means the only victim. The disease was the plague of the Magnans, a physician wrote as early as the 16th century. This suggests that the disease has been widespread for a long time and was not introduced by Columbus.